on, guys? Welcome back to United View. Happy Friday. Yes, we're back with some more transfers, some more news, some more discussion. Little bit late. little bit late because, Marcel, we were strategizing. That's why we were late. We were thinking about, look, we've got Arsenal at the weekend. I don't know about you. I'm hearing a lot of talk, a lot of chest, a lot of bravado from a lot of Arsenal fans. And I thought, you know what, Marcel, we need to strategize this morning, okay? We need to take 15 minutes and just figure out what we're going to do, what we're going to say. You know, Ten Hag's going to be doing his tactics. I watched the tactical view last night, tactical preview with Cam and James from AFTV.
Was brilliant.
Watched that. That was brilliant. And I thought, we need to have tactics. That's why we're late. Actually, I lie. It's because the internet is a disgrace and a cheat. And I hope it gets relegated.
Yeah. It was
not for the remainder of the show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hopefully that's what we're going to get right.
Can we see the results on the poll, though? You said you made a poll. I just want to, because, they're making assumptions now. The community's making assumptions. You've just told the truth now. Let's just see who they thought would really be the disgrace and the cheat today.
Well, you know what I'm alarmed by, Marcel, actually, because I did put a poll in the chat saying, who is the disgrace cheat? And it is you. It is you. But,
my days.
Fine margins, Marcel.
Wow.
Fine margins.
I respect that.
52% say Marcel.
Wow.
48% say me.
I'll take my hat off to that. It's the internet, though. It was the internet, guys. That's what happened there. So it was
because you're here, that's why.
Whatever.
It's the internet because Marcel is here. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat as well before we get into today's transfer news. Again, we're going to talk a little bit about Anthony Elanga going on loan to Borussia Dortmund, a summer striker search, which I know is, Marcel, one of your favourite topics.
Yes.
We're going to be talking a little bit about Harry Maguire, that loan offer that was rejected. I know that was a couple of days ago, but we didn't have a chance to talk about it. It actually happened just as we went off the air prior to the Palace games. We're going to talk on that. Shaw Terry, he's gone as well. So we're going to be talking about all that kind of stuff, plenty to get into this morning. But I do also want to say and laugh, Spurs.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Spurs.
Ridiculous, bro. 2-0 up. You've messaged me, 1-0, 2-0. Let me know about Edison's howler. I'm thinking, okay, they're doing the business here. They've got the lead, just secure the game. It's Conte. Imagine if we got that man instead of Ten Hag. We missed an absolute... I'm so happy we got Ten Hag, tactical, knows how to play football, and then all of a sudden it's like they just threw the game. They have no spine. Poor Harry Kane, honestly. Poor Harry Kane.
I mean, you're right though, because, and I'll be honest, I was one of those people going, no, Conte at United, that wouldn't be a bad thing. Yeah. And man, it's just, it's crazy because, and the thing is, I do see a lot of Spurs fans blaming the players and not him. I'm like, man, it's like, it ain't working.
Exactly.
Like, it really isn't working. And you know what's crazy? The fact that you can go in at halftime 2-0 at the Etihad and you knew they were going to lose still. You knew it. As soon as they got one, you went, oh, here we go. And the fact that I was talking to Josh this morning, the fact that that's not even like, oh, it's only happened once in their history. That happens a lot. It happens a lot with Spurs. Oh, my goodness. It's incredible. And you know what? I felt a little bit better because I thought, if Spurs win tonight, that Palace draw's going to...
But when you've put it like that, it does make sense. We had the opportunity to capitalise. It's a Man United-centric thought at the end of the day. Yeah, but it's what it is.
It is what it is. And also...
Fickle, of course. Of course, City fans are fickle. They've just come into historic and history, winning titles, dominating leagues. So they're fickle, right?
To this, that Borussia Dortmund had explored the conditions of a loan deal to sign Anthony Elanga from Manchester United. It was initially reported by the likes of TalkSport and others. Update on this, saying that Elanga's priority would be to join Borussia Dortmund, as reported a few days ago. Player possibly departing to the end of the season. How's he feeling about his squad size, his squad options? We are still in 4 competitions. Elanga to Dortmund.
Dortmund obviously is a kind of, a place where you go to improve your game. Dembele, Jude Bellingham, Sancho, Man United player Sancho. I think it's a good opportunity. I don't know what they're doing there in Germany, but the way they develop footballers, it works. But again, you have to think about what's happening at Manchester United Football Club. We obviously have a situation where we're fighting on 4 fronts, and it's a really, Ten Hag's taking this serious every single competition. We've got a lot of cup games coming up, Reading, I think Forest twice as well. So, yeah, I think you need to utilise the full squad. But then you've mentioned Facundo, you've mentioned Facundo there, and that's somebody that I think is a talent, and we can definitely utilise his abilities. He looks like somebody a lot more gifted on the football than Elanga and a lot more technical than Elanga. Elanga obviously came into the side last season when the team was in disarray. and performed well alongside Ronaldo and had the pressing kind of style. But now we're looking for technical footballers, and Facundo, I think, can displace him. Yeah. So, Elanga going over to Dortmund, it maybe works.
I think it's a really good move for him.
Yeah.
A really, really good move for him. Almost a surprising move for him. And again, I don't mean any disrespect to him, but I think the situation with Anthony Elanga is that last season was his sort of emergence, but he was a player in a really poor side at the time. And I think he's got a decent ability, maybe not Manchester United level, maybe right. Premier League level, maybe sort of lower Premier League level, sort of Everton, maybe a bit, that kind of be back. For how long is the question though, Marcel?
As long as the likes go up, then they
For how long? Honestly, I'm gonna do a refresh to see if we're back, because I still didn't even know. We are back now. We are back. Apologies. The internet this morning is a total disgrace. It is a total cheat. Whether it stays this way, we don't know. But Marcel, you were saying about Elanga Dortmund.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those ones where he's in the tide, and I don't know. Elanga definitely needs to go to Dortmund. I think that would be a good move for him. But again, it's up to my manager. If my manager thinks, we can still utilize him, the squad we don't have world-class replacements, but we need bodies in, and that's why we got Weghorst. Imagine having Weghorst in, Donny's out, unfortunately, and now Elanga, giving away Elanga, you need to bring somebody in to replace him then. Yeah,
that's true. I mean, that would be a concern, certainly, wouldn't it? That would be a concern that, we are light, but at the same time, does Ten Hag turn to the bench and see Elanga as an option? Really, I don't think he really does, to be honest. I don't think he turns to the bench and goes, I could bring Elanga on. I think at this point, maybe even Facundo's got ahead of him.
Yeah, 100% Facundo's ahead of him in my point of view. I think, the little cameo that we have seen would be, let's just see more. I don't know if he's a levels above him, but the technical level looks really good, and he looks really good on the ball. Sanch back as well. Back.
Yeah.
So it seems like a new signing almost.
Yeah, I did see that yesterday. Though the first training pictures of Jadon Sancho were released. Too soon for the weekend, do you think, though? No. You think he could play?
Not starting.
On the bench?
Not starting. If Weghorst can do it, he's been in his, he's gone into his zen, locked in. Gone away under Ten Hag's, guidance. Give him a 20-minute run, give him a 15-minute run. We're going to need the players.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think he could be. I said Arsenal on the bench. I genuinely do think that. I know he's been out a long time, but at the same time, he's in first team training at the moment.
Yep.
And that would be logically the group of players that could be involved at the weekend, right?
Yeah.
You would think if he was still separate from the squad, if he was training with the academy players or whatever, that would be another thing. But he's training with the squad.
Yep.
We might need him on the bench. Maybe Ten Hag will spring a surprise. Maybe, considering how calculated and thought out this whole Jadon Sancho, absence and training regime has been. Maybe they've always thought about this being the date that he would come back on. Maybe all the way back since November, they thought, okay, you're going to go here on this date. You're going to come back to Carrington on this date. You're going to be back in the squad for this date. I mean, Ten Hag is that meticulous. Like, you couldn't put it past him.
That's a good thought to have. Early morning today, Friday, that's a good thought to have, to think that he's tactically put this together. And Ten Hag, like you said, is meticulous. We've seen, obviously, McLaren say things of that nature, that he is a very meticulous man and a well thought out man. So, hey, if Sancho can make that impact, in such a big game coming up this weekend, then, all power to him. And he has to hit the ground running, just like some players, younger players than him in his position have been. Anthony hit the ground running, scored straight away against Arsenal. Garnacho's been very effective in most games. So Sancho has to come in and compete.
Jarvis 4K, one of our members, says, feel like KG is responsible for some reason. Possibly. I saw a story on his Instagram that said, so I think it's his wife's birthday, and he bought himself a present.
KG, man. Seriously?
Louis Vuitton.
Oh, seriously? Come on, KG, man. It's a joke.
I don't think it was.
It's a joke.
I don't think it was.
I'll have to message him.
So it's always KG's fault for some reason.
Yeah.
Dilva says, Weghorst was playing regular football, Sancho not. Saying Weghorst might start. And Ed says he'll get some behind closed doors / reserve games first, then get on the bench. How do we know that he hasn't?
Yeah, exactly. And Ten Hag keeps everything in-house. Remember when KG and Flex went, they were saying, listen, there's no media, all that kind of thing. So I think Ten Hag's very strict, so we wouldn't maybe know. I don't think he likes to keep everything in-house.
And Ed also says, Mrs. KG is a bully, though. He deserves to treat himself. That is not fair. That is not fair to say.
Birthday. Well, I don't celebrate birthdays, so I don't know why I'm super...
Why don't you celebrate birthdays? I know you said this the other day, because your birthday is New Year's Day.
I don't know. I just don't celebrate birthdays. Birthday is a one-day thing. My birthday is one date.
Yes, that's how it works.
So then why do we know?
Yes, you've just defined a day.
No, the birthday.
Yes, you were born on that day. Therefore, it's your birthday.
No, but there's one. That's only one time I was birthed once. Birthday happened once. Yeah, I didn't get birthed again and again.
Well, obviously, because there's only one of you, and you can only be born once.
Yeah. So then I have one.
Talking about
so then I have one birthday.
Wait a minute. I wasn't born and then born over and over and over again. I hope not.
Yeah, I know.
It would explain your short size.
No, but it's still my point.
You've got the height of a newborn.
Yes. But it's the point that I'm trying to make, Owen. There's only one birthday. There's only one. It happened once for you.
Yeah.
So then now I don't celebrate. I don't need to celebrate birthdays because it
happened
only once.
The anniversary of your birth.
I see. Now you added the word anniversary.
Yeah.
So then anniversary birthdays it should be called, or anniversary.
You're making long words for the sake of being long words. I mean, let's not even get into Marcel's definition of time, by the way. Because whenever we say a time, Marcel will arrive late for said time, and then I'll be like, "Why were you late?" And he goes, "I live outside of time." And I'll go, "What?" And he goes, "Time is a construct of man, Owen."
Yes, he's right. Time is a construct of man, Owen. So, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to say? I can put it into the birthday concept.
Go on.
There's one birthday.
What do you mean the concept? There's a thing.
No, there's one birthday. There's one, yeah?
Yeah.
So now I don't think about time or days, or I don't need to think about days because that's what you're counting. 365 days would be the next birthday. And now I don't need to think about time either because I'm not counting the days. So now I'm just, you know what I'm trying to say?
No, I don't know what you're trying to say.
And then there's another fact where if you go to the North Pole, there's no such thing as time there.
Right.
So then why is there time everywhere else?
Well, time is relative, is it not, though? You say there's no such thing as time there, but like it's not like you go there and you go, I haven't aged at all through this time. It's time.
Time is constructed. I'm outside of it. We can agree to disagree here.
Well, yeah, a lot of scientists as well would agree.
Science evolves every single week, month, and
Call me crazy. I don't think a scientist is going to ever come out and say there is no such thing as time.
One day. One day, I'm just ahead of time because there's no such thing as time. It's just like processes, evolution, evolvement. But hey ho.
Evolution. That's over time.
It's been put within time. But there's no such thing.
It's been put within time.
It's been put within time. Literally that. Okay.
I don't even know where to go after that. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Obviously, we had some technical difficulties, not with the internet, but with Marcel's brain this morning.
Oh, okay.
I mean, oh my goodness. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe bottom right hand corner. There is plenty of UV content coming in the next few days in the build up to the Arsenal game, Marcel. Of course, we mentioned the tactical preview dropped last night with Cam and James from AFTV. We've got match previews, combined 11s, and some extra special shows coming soon that we can't actually say right now. So they'll be coming soon as well. And of course, we've got the game on Sunday, so plenty to get into, plenty to watch, and plenty to discuss ahead of the big one at the Emirates. Let's move on because we're running out of time. Let's talk about a summer striker search for Manchester United, and Victor Osimhen and Gonzalo Ramos are among the forward options being considered by Manchester United for a summer move. This comes from the Daily Mail. But the club are reportedly braced for competition from their Premier League rivals. Of course, United are looking to land a big striker in the summer after getting Wout Weghorst as a winter stopgap. But the names that are being linked are the likes of Victor Osimhen, Gonzalo Ramos, Harry Kane also as well. Now, when it comes to Osimhen or Ramos, Erik ten Hag's side face the prospect of paying over £100 million to bring either Osimhen or Ramos to Old Trafford. I mean, with Osimhen as well, it's difficult because, look, he's been absolutely on fire this season. I mean, against Juventus the other day, 2 goals and an assist. I remember the goal he scored against Roma was absolutely brilliant. Spun Chris Smalling, somehow got it in the side net and was absolutely brilliant. But some people are saying, look, considering how well Napoli are playing this season, most likely going to win the league. They get in the Champions League. Maybe they won't have to sell, but at the same time, I feel like if you say, look, here's £100 million, not even euros, pounds, that might be too good for them to turn down. Who would you want out of those, let's say those 3, right? You've got Osimhen, Ramos, Kane.
Oh, so you've asked me, do I want the ready now product, the finished, the guaranteed 20 goals and assists, Harry Kane? Do I want Victor Osimhen, who's maybe, and by the way, Harry Kane's a complete forward, can do all elements of the game. Victor Osimhen has maybe got a couple elements that he needs to improve on in terms of deep lying forward kind of role. But he's maybe the next one to become a complete forward. Absolute brilliant forward in Victor Osimhen. And then Gonzalo Ramos, I can't say that well. Paulo should help me with
I think
the
he did all right.
Oh, thank you. But he's somebody that, again, looks like he's going to become a bit of a complete forward, can do a bit of everything, but I still need to see a lot more of him, a lot more. Victor Osimhen seems like the forerunner for that kind of position, especially if we keep Tony Marshall, then you've got kind of like a little bit of a downgrade on Harry Kane. So I can understand that maybe Victor Osimhen, for me, could be the front runner. I still would take Harry Kane, though, in my mind. It's a very close one. I think it's a close 1-2 between Victor Osimhen and Harry Kane. I would also like to put in Vlahovic, somebody that's got a really good off-the-ball runs and can do a bit of everything, but not as good as Osimhen. So Victor Osimhen or Harry Kane. Harry Kane will score me 15 goals and get me 10 assists every single time I put him in a season, even with his injuries. So and can play in the Premier League. I haven't seen Victor Osimhen's situation when he plays in the Premier League yet. So it's a bit of a shadow and shooting in the dark a little bit there. So, and I get Harry Kane for 3 or 4 years. And he's
for longer.
Yeah, but he's chasing that Alan Shearer. He's motivated. He wants trophies. And it's Harry Kane. The more and more that I see it, Manchester United Football Club used to buy the best talent in the league before. That's what we used to do. We used to buy the best talent and expect them to deliver. Van Persie, Andy Cole. I can't look past a Harry Kane situation for Manchester United. If we continue in the vein that we are continuing right now in terms of that deep lying forward. If Ten Hag does change the predicament where it's a bit more of a Haller type, a presser, like a Weghorst, then it's Victor Osimhen.
I will say this. Gonzalo Ramos, I think the jury is still out. I know, obviously, look, he had that hat-trick at the World Cup and everyone got really, really excited. Fine, no problem. 100 million for that? That's a bit much. That's a bit much for that. I think you're really looking at Harry Kane or Victor Osimhen. I'm happy with either. I don't mind either. For instance, like if we got Harry Kane, I'm not going to sit here and be like, we got Harry Kane.
Yeah.
I would prefer Victor Osimhen. The reason I would prefer it, there's more longevity out of that one, because Harry Kane's 29, 30?
Yeah.
Osimhen's 24.
Yeah.
You would feel like he's on the ascendancy.
Facts.
Whereas Harry Kane is there. I'm not going to sit here and say he's in decline because I don't think he is. And also, what I will say about Harry Kane is I think that he's going to stay up there for longer than most forwards because his game isn't built around pace. His game isn't built around, getting past people. He's always been the same kind of pace, and that's not very fast. What his game is about is getting in the right positions. He's got a great shot. His passing, I think, is underrated. So I'm fine with either. My feeling is, and my gut is that Ten Hag would prefer Victor Osimhen. I think he's a quicker forward. He probably will press more than Harry Kane.
100%.
As far as injuries, look, they both struggle with injuries. Harry Kane, he's going to always miss about a quarter of the season, maybe. Ankle injury, that's going to happen. Victor Osimhen also has had his injury problems as well. So if you want to go with proven, you probably would just edge it to Harry Kane because he's done it for longer at a higher level in the Premier League. If you want to go with, for the future, and he's in a really good moment now, and most likely he's going to get better, you would probably go with Osimhen. But either one, and I don't think it's sitting on the fence to say, I'm going to be really annoyed that we get Harry Kane. No, of course. I'll be annoyed because I've got to try on that David De Gea shirt, and that ain't fitting. That ain't fitting.
That will encourage you, though, like you mentioned off air, to just, to
lose some weight.
do a couple of runs.
I mean, even if the thing is, Marcel, that's just small. Even if I'm skinny, I ain't getting into that. That's not fitting my frame.
You must have faith. I'm an optimist. You must have faith. He must believe, and anything can happen.
Well, you don't believe in time.
No, but that's something completely different. But hey ho.
Super chat from Amanor says, Owen, please get Flex to do his judge at the Emirates. I mean, if he the problem is with the judge, right? The problem is that even if he touched the goalpost, it would work against us. He can't control it. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You know,
that's a fact actually.
Well, actually, for instance, perfect example. Last night, Spurs winning 2-0. Goes on Twitter. Arsenal are winning the league 4-2.
That actually happened.
Yeah. I mean, why are you saying it actually happened? It always happens.
I don't know how to put this, but we went to Crystal Palace and he called the game to exact detail. He called exactly how the game was going to pan out, except for the last seconds. So maybe the judge is kind of wearing off. I don't know. He literally said how the game was going to play out. With no mistake, it was going to be a 1-0 game, a bit tight, cagey, old English ground, historic ground. KG affair, might just scrap a 1-0 get away, get out of the ground. He literally called it exactly to how it played out, and then something happened.
Yeah, I heard your predictions for Selhurst Park, Marcel. Yeah. What were you saying?
4-1, excellent performance, bags of goals. Yeah, I know. It was.
Look, away from home this season, to be honest, United are actually quite predictable away from home, realistically. Look at our wins this season away from home. It's been Southampton 1-0, Leicester 1-0. It's been Fulham 2-1, 1-goal margin. Wolves 1-0, and apart from that, we've lost.
Listen, I don't know what's wrong with me, honestly.
Nor do I.
No, look. I actually said it on the Full View the other day. Our away fixtures are very difficult and they're hard to compete for.
So why did
but
you
then
say
once
it?
I get to the ground, it's like this is the team. I believe in this side. And it just goes completely against my belief sometimes, and
maybe this is a lesson for you then, Marcel. When you use your brain.
No. I do use it, but there's different. The brain has two different sides, and you have to kind of decide which side you're going to use. Yeah, you're going to decide what side you use, the creative side or the critical thinking side. And a lot of the time, sometimes I use the creativity side, sometimes I use the critical thinking side. That's all it is.
Do you know what connects the two halves of your brain?
I need to go and research that. I need to read about
Corpus callosum.
Corpus callosum.
Yeah, and it feels like with you it's been snipped.
Oh, no. I'm just using the pineal gland and I'm blending the two and magically.
Amanor says, Owen. Oh, he said it again. Do the judge at the Emirates. I can ask. I don't want him to get banned or anything like that. And again, he can't control it. He doesn't know how it works. Amanor also says, Owen, please, can we get Marcel a child booster seat?
Is it that bad today? It's not that bad. It was just a running joke forever.
Shall I really sit up straight?
You can if you want. It's not that bad. We're getting the pillow though. The pillows. How many likes have we got today? Thank you.
128 likes.
So let's not talk about booster seats until the likes go up.
Yeah, I mean, if we get to 500 likes, Marcel, we know that cushion's coming.
Yeah,
I did actually look into it.
Can it have a time emoji, a face and a time emoji? Can we get a time emoji now?
I tell you what.
I would like a time emoji.
This is a plea to you because this happened last time with the Only Flex and Beg Horses thing. Can we get like Marcel and some kind of sort of Doctor Who-ish?
Oh,
you know what I mean?
I'm meant to be doing the Victorian letter thing.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to do Doctor Who skit as well.
You're a Time Lord.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So if we can get Marcel in like a TARDIS or something like that.
Let's make that happen, guys, please.
Time is a construct.
Of man.
Come into my TARDIS.
I'm telling you, it is. It's fake. But hey.
So let's have a look at the poll actually in the chat, see what they're saying as well. Over 250 votes, and the majority are going with Victor Osimhen. Only 17% saying that they prefer Harry Kane, only 9% saying Gonzalo Ramos, and a whopping 74% for Victor Osimhen, which I guess makes a bit of sense, Marcel. Like, yeah, I know you like Harry Kane,
yeah,
but that wouldn't be, if we got Osimhen, you're not going to be like, oh, terrible.
No way. I had an agenda for a long period of time now where it's like, I want Harry Kane. I can see Tony Marshall playing in a certain way, but he's not been able to get the minutes and the run out. And now you want to upgrade on that. That's Harry Kane. It's very simple. Goals and assists in abundance. So, but now I'm thinking there's different types of strikers to the game. We got a tall forward, pressing style. He's almost kind of put in Weghorst as a decoy for what could look like for Victor Osimhen. A lot more higher pressing, got the tall physical side. Is closer to a complete forward than Weghorst, and I think can become a complete forward. But yeah.
Well, one name that was linked with us in January was Memphis Depay. Now, he's going to Atletico Madrid. But what is interesting is that The Athletic are reporting that Manchester United turned down a return for Memphis Depay after the striker made it clear he wanted a long contract to return to Old Trafford, according to reports. Again, he had been linked with United in the January transfer window and the summer transfer window as well. But again, according to The Athletic, they're saying that Manchester United essentially considered Depay, but his demand for a long-term contract made the deal unfeasible at this time. Now, what does this deal consist of to Atletico? Well, Romano, in his Here We Go tweets, said that an agreement was sealed on a fee which was around, get this, Marcel, 3 to 4 million euros. That's all it cost to get Memphis Depay. But he did sign a contract valid until 2028. So that is a 5-year contract, which, to be honest,
speaks to their business.
If he wants a 5-year deal, then I would go, that is too long for Memphis Depay. I know he's what, 29, something like that. Yeah. I know he's not as if he's old, but at the same time, 5-year contract. What are those wages going to be look like? Remember, they don't have those João Felix wages at the moment because Chelsea are taking care of them. So chances are they're probably going to be quite high. And this would have been a deal that I think some people would be like, yeah, Memphis Depay. But at the same time, you go, I just don't know if that's part of Ten Hag's long-term plan.
It's not. In his prime years, he hasn't really executed. He hasn't been a fantastic, prolific footballer. And there's young, hungry footballers coming up. We've already spoken about it. So you got to balance it in the grand scheme of things. The next few seasons, what's the plan? What's the vision? 3, 4, 5, 6 years of Memphis Depay. You know, just the price in itself speaks to the level of quality he is. We got Weghorst on the same kind of value, market value, as a 6-month loan. So for me, it's somebody that, you know, you don't want to pay too much a mind to. You want to spend the big money once the consortium comes in, or once we get a plan for the summer on a world-class or becoming world-class forward. He's definitely not one of those. He would be a backup, if anything. So, you know, the Memphis Depay situation is what it is, and this speaks to Barcelona's business. How many they've got him on how many years of a contract?
Well, Atletico signed him on a 5-year contract.
Okay, see,
if I was in those negotiations, then they said, look, Memphis Depay, you can have him 3 to 4 million euros. I'd say, all right, because that's basically what we spent on the Wout Weghorst loan. I go, okay, and then he went, okay, 5-year contract. I go, 5 years,
ridiculous.
5-year contract, and also as well. I mean, what do those wages look like? We know about Weghorst wages are like 60k a week, if that. Yeah. You know, at a time which again we just don't have the money.
Yeah, it's a free hit. The money. How much he would be? What, 100 and something plus?
I would think minimum 100. Yeah, minimum 100.
No.
And I didn't. And again, we don't really know the situation from above. You know, Ten Hag might have been told, or John Murtough or Richard Arnold, they might have been told by the Glazers, look, whilst we're in this whole sale process, we're just not going to sign off on, you know, big transfers. We're not going to sign off on contracts that are above 100k. Sometimes there is sort of a spending cap placed upon businesses around that time of, oh, you know, you can't recruit anyone over this wage, this salary cap. That might be a thing. We don't know. So, you know, Memphis Depay, you can never go back. If we should have learned anything over the last couple of years, Marcel, it's you never go back.
Yeah, facts. Big one with Ronaldo. You know, speaks to that for sure. Memphis is a situation where we're shopping in a poor market right now, and we're shopping with a limited budget right now. So those things are, you know, they're inevitable and irrelevant. To the grand scheme of things and the business that we're trying to execute in the summer. So.
DJ's in the chat. Big up DJ. Says, I'm not too hot on Osimhen. Someone tell me what he does. LOL. Score goals.
Yeah. Score goals. You know, hold up play, target man, pressing, proactive footballer.
Got pace
as well. And I think once he gets under Ten Hag's regime, DJ can start the build up. You know, I think that's Martial's 10-10 with the build up. Harry Kane's 11-10 with the build up. But you know, Osimhen's got to be Victor Osimhen's got to be one of those players where, you know, he's got to improve on that 5, 6. That's something that he needs to work on. So he'll become a complete forward.
What did you make of Weghorst's performance the other night? I felt it was difficult to judge.
Yes. Yes, I agree with that. But he's got little nice, neat touches in terms of, and he doesn't come off the forward line enough. He's one of those players that likes to stay high and move the defensive line higher up the pitch. But he needs to come off that forward line a lot more. But then when he was coming off the forward line, nice little leak, clever touches into players and players around him. Aggressive, a lot of useless sprinting at the moment. But that's because maybe he doesn't understand the team shape. Just come into a football inside, don't know your colleagues very well and where to be and how to be and when to be in positions. He's growing into it. We need players to find him in the box as well. We was putting hopeless crosses, Wan-Bissaka, Anthony. You need to pinpoint and find him in the box, understand where he likes to be when he's in the box.
I felt that, again, it was too early to judge. I saw some link-up play that I liked.
Yeah.
I saw some touches that I didn't like. I think that it's safe to say the guy has very, very, very little pace.
Yeah.
But there was one point in the first half where they played a through ball, and if it was a quicker play, he'd have been through on goal, and he looked like he was running through treacle. He was like, I said it was like, Baywatch. It was like that. And he thought, okay. I thought some of his presses were good. He looked like a player that had only had a couple training sessions with his team. And also as well, we do have to take a step back. And whilst, look, Eric Ten Hag can get stuff out of players that we don't think is possible, we do have to take a step back and go, if we were in a normal situation right now, we wouldn't sign Wout Weghorst.
Yeah.
So let's not judge him by the eyes of, he's this player that we really, really wanted and really courted. And because we're not in a usual situation at the moment financially.
Yeah.
So when he might have an iffy game, you go, it's because ultimately he's probably not at that level. But we got a stopgap. We could play someone up front, and we did. Palace away, it's a difficult one. We were sloppy and we didn't play particularly well. Let's see what happens when we're at Old Trafford and we play someone else. I think that's the best games to judge him on. Will he start on Sunday? I'd be really surprised. Marcel.
Facts. No way. I don't think he can start. I think Tony Marshall's been rested and is ready to play on Sunday, hopefully. Weghorst is one of those players where he wants to play for the team and is hungry to play for the side. But I didn't even get to see him have a shot in that game, like a proper good shot. And that's where he is. He's a technical player with his feet. He's good with his feet. So he needs to grow into the team, man. It was the first game, and I think he came off after a few minutes. Just get your cameo, have a feel for the team and go from there.
Be sure to smash a like on the like button, guys. We've got over 700 people watching. Less than 30 likes to go to 200. Then we can get to 250. Yeah. Then we can get Marcel's cushion. We can get
build into greatness.
Yeah, build into greatness. Marcel, I think just at this point you need your own seat. That's really what you need.
I need my own mic, my own seat. We were talking about the ball. Have you seen The Hobbit? You've seen The Hobbit. And Lord of the Rings, when they go into the Hobbit, when Gandalf goes into the house, everything's
Marcel, I've never seen any of those films.
But you've seen the scene.
I've seen the scene because I saw the special effects behind, like how they shot it. You know what I mean? And it's very impressive, how they do it, because it's mainly practical.
Ahead of its time.
Yeah, the way they shoot it with like the small props that sort of turn into big props. Yeah, it was actually, Josh is right. They have been doing it for ages, because what's amazing, actually, there are these videos on YouTube. I recommend to go watch them. Well, they'll show how they did like effects in like the 1920s or 30s on film, and like using like plain glass sort of windows and stuff like that. It's brilliant, absolutely, and like just the genius behind it. Like, it's so creative. It's just lost nowadays. Everything's VFX. Everything's
is what it is.
Good analysis, Marcel. So there you go. Be sure to smash the like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe as well, bottom right-hand corner. Let's move on and talk about Harry Maguire. Now, this is a story that actually we finished our show the other day, and then it literally came out like 5 minutes after. So we didn't get an opportunity to talk about it, because then we had the game, and then we had Match Day Reloaded yesterday. It was a very busy day. It's been a very busy week. Yeah. Now, the story it came from Simon Stone from the BBC, saying that West Ham had contacted Manchester United about the possibility of signing Harry Maguire on loan until the end of the season. United's answer, Marcel, was, quote, "No chance." Yep. No chance in hell. You don't get the reference.
No. I thought you was going with a Batman or something. Or was it Inspector Gadget? Inspector Gadget. You know that?
I know it, but it was definitely not what I was going with.
But you had a little bit of it, and I was with it.
Vince McMahon.
Okay.
No chance in hell.
No, unfortunately. Inspector Gadget would have been better, I think.
Well, no, it would have made no sense
Okay.
because they don't say no chance in Inspector Gadget.
Okay, that's what you're going with. Well, no, but I can see why there's no chance that we would, not give away. Well, we'd have to give away Harry Maguire right now.
It would be a silly move to do.
Very
I think.
silly, extremely silly right now.
Yeah, I think that at a time in which we've just spoken about, the resources are limited. And again, this is what is crazy about social media: is you go, that's probably a smart thing to do by United. You get the. You saying Harry Maguire's good enough? You saying he's good enough for Man United? No, get rid of him now. Get rid of him now. And you go, well, okay, who's going to replace him? It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Wait, it does. Yeah. it does matter.
Exactly.
We do need the bodies. Harry Maguire's role right now, I'm perfectly content with to the end of the season, which is he doesn't play. He'll come on 10 minutes to go if we need it. If we're playing a Bournemouth at home, he'll start. If we're in a cup competition, which to be honest, they're getting a bit difficult, but Reading at home, he'll probably start that game. I'm fine with that, no problem. Now, at the end of the season, absolutely, there'll be a conversation about his future. And to be honest, if I was his advisor, I would say you probably should leave. Yeah. Not necessarily because, oh, you're terrible, you're rubbish, you're this, you're a fridge, rah, rah, rah. No, it'd be more just you need to leave because you need to play. You're not exactly a spring chicken, and whilst Gareth Southgate backs you and always picks you for England, that will only last so long because if a younger player starts to play more often and better for their club, Gareth Southgate's just going to be forced into choosing another centre-back. So you would say at the end of the season, you probably have to go. That is what it is. It'd be better for you. Clearly, you can't handle the pressure, the scrutiny that comes with being a Manchester United player, let alone captain.
Oh.
So that would be best for him. But now, that's just not good business for United to do.
Yeah.
It's just not.
Yeah, Ten Hag's a genius, and he understands the moment that he's in. Throughout this whole season, we've been chopping and changing 11s and having to find the best situation for a particular game. So, with this situation now, it's not good to get rid of a Harry Maguire. He's been utilised sometimes in the forward line when we're desperate, and it just speaks to the fact that Ten Hag's a fantastic manager right now. And yep, agree with you. Maguire, personally, on a personal note, how long can he be on the bench for before Southgate does have to replace him in some senses? So I think his advisors will be telling him to move on. But he's been a professional. Warms up when he has to warm up. Seeing him warm up at Crystal Palace when he's told to go up there, warms up, and when he comes on for how many of the minutes he comes on for, supporting and jeering the crowd and doing his part. So I can only respect him for that. At the end of the day, we're Manchester United Football Club. When you come on, you perform or try to be the best that you can be. So I appreciate his efforts.
Well, and also as well, you remember when Ten Hag first came in, and like his first press conference, they said, "Who's the captain?" He said, "Harry Maguire," and everyone went, "Another puppet. Here we go." Yeah. And first couple of games of the season, he started those first 2 games of the season. Started against Brighton, started against Brentford. We lost those games. And this goes to show why I love Erik ten Hag, is because in the past, other managers like Solskjaer, and I think Solskjaer was partially because he was the one responsible for bringing him there, so he kind of had to always pick him, and he named him captain, but he really doubled down, and he couldn't retract from that because it's a point of weakness and failure at that point. Then Ranić, what's he going to do? So he just, I'll just pick him anyway, no problem. But Ten Hag saw it, didn't he? He went, it's not working. It can't work. And frankly, we've just got better options at the club. We do have better options. You've got Rafael Varane, World Cup winner, Champions League winner, composure, the ghost, the wraith, the phantom, whatever. Yeah, you've got Lisandro Martinez. At the time, wasn't World Cup winner, but he knows him. He knows that tenacity, that aggression, that passion that you need. That's a perfect balance to Varane's composure. That works.
Yeah.
And then now you've got our left backs higher up in the centre back pecking order than Harry Maguire. Yeah. Luke Shaw, left centre back, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I think he might play there against Arsenal at the weekend. Yeah, I wouldn't even be shocked. Yep. I think that back four could be, and this is what Cam was saying on the tactical preview, Wan-Bissaka right back, Varane, Shaw, Malacia, and then I think you put Martinez central defensive midfield. Now, whether or not Ten Hag will do that, because sometimes he likes to try things, I don't know.
It's a really good call. I think I remember Kenny mentioned it on a full view. Cam's, like you said, mentioned it on the tactical view. Brilliant tactical view as well with the Arsenal fella. Really interesting insights from both sides of view and both points of view in terms of tactics. Excellent tactical view. But it would be interesting to see Martinez there. That we haven't seen him play there for our side, and you've got 2 kind of defensively sound at times players or energetic. I wouldn't say defensively sound, actually. I'll take that back. But energetic players that are in the midfield areas and Fred and McTominay. Unfortunately, it's going to be them two. We really needed Casemiro, but I think it might just be a lot of tenacious running laterally. You know, they like to have their triangles in the wide areas like we saw in the tactical view. And we're going to need extra bodies, you know, putting out fires and trying to start counter-attacks. So it most probably will be them two. If it is Martinez, you've got the Butcher in the middle. I think he will absolutely haunt the Odegaard in that central area. Oh, I would love it as well. And I think that's a really good tactical ploy. Ten Hag's been tinkering with teams and putting systems and traps for teams for a long time now. So I believe he could do something.
I think there is a press conference today, because what's been happening, because we've had so many games recently, is every time we have a game midweek, a lot of the time he films his sort of pre-match press conference after that, and then it's embargoed until today. But I think, considering it's Wednesday, there probably is going to be a live press conference at Carrington, and I'd be really interested to know if any journalist does ask him that. If they ask him, would you consider playing Martinez? Would you consider putting him in central defence midfielder? Because again, the thing is with it is, yes, he hasn't tried it at United. He has done it before at Ajax. So, but it's one of the biggest games of the season to do it in as well. It's not like doing it against, a lower team at home, is it?
Exactly.
That's the choice. But
away from home as well.
Away from home, against top of the table. But we find ourselves in that situation. And to be honest, look, if you're McTominay and he goes with Martinez over you, you know where you stand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't think Ten Hag cares about that.
Exactly. Done that with Maguire. And I think, McTominay's in that category as well of professional. He when he's called upon, he tries to do his best. His best is not good enough, and good is not good enough with our manager. So I do understand that he should know his place and maybe does. And he's a squad player at best. But, I don't think that those kind of things would affect him. But it's a big game to come in and make that kind of tactical change all of a sudden, Martinez in central areas.
Be sure to smash the like on the like button, guys. We've got over 800 people watching. Still less than 250 likes, Marcel. We can get up to 300. We can get up to 400. We can get higher. I'm sure we can. An interesting bit of news, too, just coming in just the last few minutes or so. This comes from Christian Falk in Germany, saying that Manchester United is an option for Marco Reus.
Yeah.
There was a meeting between his agent and Erik ten Hag. They talked about Reus, and Erik seemed to be interested. They have to see what happens in the summer, but he's an option as a potential free agent. Now, this comes off a story that, I don't know if you saw this, at the Manchester derby, Royce's representatives were in the crowd. They were in the stadium.
Okay,
and people went, Marco Royce's representatives in the stadium. Now, again, he's a free agent in the summer, but I just double check here, because I think I checked this the other day. He's 34.
Yeah, I thought 31. 34.
Let me double check this. I don't want to put slander. He's 33 right now. I believe he's 30. He'll be 34. He'll be 34 in May. I don't see, Marcel, why we would do that.
A Tadic-esque player, maybe.
He's 34.
Yeah.
Tadic went to Ajax at least when he was sort of in his 20s.
Yeah. Listen, in Ten Hag we trust. I think he's
I just don't buy this. I don't buy this.
No, if it's a fake report,
this screams to me like Royce. He's got one contract probably left. 34 again for his last big contract, pushing it anyway. Yeah. It just feels like. At 34, when you've been at Dortmund, you might come to the Premier League, but you don't come to Man United.
Yeah.
You could see him going to he's gone to West Ham. Gone to, and even because, like, say, Perisic when he went to Spurs, but Perisic, even through he's getting older, he's still done it at all of these clubs, Bayern Munich, Inter Milan. And even, to be fair, Spurs are crap, but he's decent at Spurs. Marco Reus at United. When we're trying to build a side for the future, when we're trying to lay foundations down. Erik ten Hag, progressive player, getting Royce. I think that, no way.
Yeah. I know. Okay, well, in terms of the way you've phrased it like that, I definitely agree. But if I'm to look at it in a positive and how he would be able to benefit the side, I think, the quality drop off below that front line is massive. And it's a Tadic-esque player,
Yeah, but it's not though. Again,
he can play across all the front four.
Yeah,
the front four.
34.
Yeah, he can play across the front four.
It's 34.
Yeah, the age, of course,
34.
the age. No, I agree with you. I'm not saying, don't mistake me for what I'm saying. I agree with you. There's no way we should be looking at this type of footballer. But if Ten Hag wants the player, there's no reason or no doubt in my mind that he'll be able to find a way to get him to be part of this squad and utilise him on a free as well.
You say he can play across the front three, but for instance, right hand side. If I'm Facundo Palestri or I'm Ahmad and I'm seeing them bringing in a 34-year-old Marco Reus on a free transfer ahead of me, I'd be like, wow, I'm out of it.
You're not ready to play
I'm
for
out of it.
United. You're not ready to play for United then, Ahmad and Facundo.
I'd argue at this stage in Royce's career, at 34...
He's not ready to play for United.
Well, at 34, I'd rather have a Facundo Pellistri who's, 22?
Yeah,
How
of
old is he?
course,
Something like that. Or Ahmad, I'd rather have a 20-year-old Ahmad than a 34-year-old Marco Royce.
I agree.
A million %.
I agree with you completely. And I think Ahmad's an outstanding footballer and will most probably get a go-ahead of Anthony at some stage. I think he's got the ceiling to be better than Anthony. But all I'm saying is if that's the mentality that two young footballers have when another person comes into the side, it doesn't speak well for the future and the proliferation of their careers.
I just think that, there's one thing I've been like, we signed Casemiro and he's 30, 31, same with Eriksen. 34 for a wide player as well? No, this feels to me like bullshit.
Yeah. I was going to say, if it's a fake report...
It just feels like one of those stories coming out from Germany that's like, Man United are interested, but like even the terminology used, Erik ten Hag had a meeting with his agent. Surely John Murtough would be having that meeting.
True.
You know what I mean?
True.
Why is Erik ten Hag himself taking meetings with Marco Royce's agent, of all people?
Maybe it's just...
That would be such a bizarre meeting for him to take.
Yeah.
Sorry, we've got a lot going on at the moment. I've got to prepare for Arsenal. I've just come off a Manchester derby. I've got a game every 3 days. I'm taking meetings with agents. You got agents? Is it Harry Kane's agents, is it? Or is it Victor Osimhen's agent?
No.
It's Marco Royce's agent. He's a free contract in the summer. You'd be like, what?
Just got over his injury
Better
problems.
Use of your time, Eric.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I 100% agree with you. Don't mistake what I'm saying. 100% agree with you. And I think any agent in the world, if they're finding it difficult to get another contract for their player, they would make their way to Manchester United football ground and say, hey, pick me or have a look at me. So that is definitely maybe a marketing ploy for themselves. Their agents, they're doing smart business there in terms of getting their player out or spreading the kind of speculation about him.
Can you imagine like just you're sitting there at Carrington at your desk, phone rings, someone outside to see you, go, who is it? And they go, oh, it's Marco Royce's agent. You're like, what?
Yeah, who's this guy?
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on to the final story, which is a departure from Manchester United. It was confirmed yesterday that Manchester United have completed an agreement to send Shola Shoreteri on loan to Bolton Wanderers. The deal is signed. Shoreteri said, quote, coming here, I'm transitioning into the men's game. It's exactly what I needed. Hopefully, I'll have a good loan here, and it will put me in a good place. Shoreteri to Bolton Wanderers, not a bad loan for him.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of him though, and I'm a bit worried about his chances of making it. It's difficult. It is a mammoth of a task to make it into Manchester United Football Club's first team. Shola Shoreteri reminds me a bit of Angel Gomez in terms of a bit short of stature and can he do it physically? Has he grown into a man's body yet and that kind of thing? Long process for him. I'm not saying it's done and he'll never be able to make it into the first team, but it's good that you're now getting men's football and in abundance in the Championship, game after game. League One even worse. There's so many teams. It's games every week. It's 2 or 3 games every week, demanding on your body. So, I'm happy that he can go through that process. Ethan Laird's been brilliant through that process this season at the Championship for QPR, and so has Ahmad. Ahmad's been brilliant right now. So the younger players need those games. Let's hope for the best for him.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good loan for him. Like I said, they're in League One. Bolton are actually 5th in League One, so
nice. Might
be hitting the playoffs. I mean, and the thing is, this is what's crazy as you get older, Marcel, because teams that you associate as Premier League sides or sort of Championship sides are in like the lower leagues now. So I'm looking just at the League One table. The teams that are sort of around Bolton, Derby, Ipswich, Sheffield Wednesday, Barnsley. Great. They're like, the proper sides, proper clubs. Bolton's a big team. They've had their hardships over the years. I mean, they were in the Premier League for a while. Sam Allardyce.
JJ Okocha.
And then they went all the way down to League Two. And then coming back, they had a load of financial problems, administration, etc. But it's a big club, big support. And to his point, he's transitioning into men's football. And we kind of spoke about this the other day when we were talking about Charlie McNeil, that he's a striker, so sometimes the most important thing for a striker is just scoring goals at senior level.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily where it is. If you can keep just scoring goals, it builds up that confidence. That's all it takes. I mean, you spoke about Harry Kane. Look how many loan moves he had, through his Spurs career. And they weren't particularly successful. He had a couple of goals at Leyton Orient. I think he had one at Norwich as well. Leicester when they were in the Championship. Fact. So sometimes you just need that. You just need that experience, that experience of playing men's football, strengthening up your body, strengthening up your frame, scoring goals, the confidence of scoring goals, and playing for a decent-sized club with expectation on you. Obviously, nothing's going to be like Manchester United. Everything pales in comparison, but he's definitely not going to get minutes at United, is he? So, and look, let's be honest. Who knows if he'll ever get anywhere close to the first team? At a time at which we're actively recruiting a striker for the next sort of 10 years, he might struggle. But the positive thing is that he can go there, he can improve his development, again, score goals, and then maybe next season he stays there on another loan, or maybe he helps them get up to the Championship. Imagine they get a promotion to the Championship and he's part of that. That's brilliant.
Yeah, well, I think Shola in particular is a 10 or a wide forward. So even that's even a bigger task for him as a 10 and a wide forward. You have to be very productive. You have to have stunning football matches and produce a lot of end product. But for Charlie McNeil in particular, like you said, his currency is goals. And that's so hard to do and be aggressive against in men's football, against strong defenders and relentless. It's game after game after game in these leagues that you don't really get much break in between. So for Charlie McNeil and for Shola Shotai, respectively, it's a difficult task to like you said, it pales. It's nothing in comparison to massive Manchester United demands and the weight of the shirt. But I wish them the best, and especially Charlie as well. I think he's fantastic young forward and he can develop here.
VK with a super chat says, with Ten Hag's coaching team, we need to scout to find the next gem from Americas, Asia, European, and AFCON, rather than splashing 70 to 100 million, even Wout on loan from Ten Hag. Basically saying we need to improve our scouting. I mean, I think Real Madrid have the South Americas locked, don't they?
Yeah.
Any sort of Brazilian youngster, like 16, 15, they'll pay like... What's that guy that they just signed from?
I want to say Rodrigo, his name is.
I can't remember.
He's 15 and he's a baller.
Yeah, they can't get him till like 2 years' time or something like
Similar
that.
Like a Neymar
but they've
situation.
spent like 70 million on him. It's crazy. But that's what they do, and it's from that scout who's basically got everyone right. Endrick, I think his name.
Endrick, yeah, that's it.
He's got literally everyone from that continent. I mean, it's incredibly impressive as well. I like this comment here. Says, and I think they mean to say James Wilson, the striker that used to play for United. But he said, do you remember Owen Wilson? I do remember Owen Wilson because he's a very good actor. And he's in Loki. And he's in lots of other things as well. Wow. That's what he does.
I don't know.
You don't know?
I'm sorry, man.
What if I Google him right now in the last couple of minutes here?
Show me a picture.
Owen Wilson. You'll know who Owen Wilson is. You recognise him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
His nose, the broken nose guy.
Wedding Crashers,
Yeah,
all that kind of stuff.
He's a very good actor.
Yeah, he's a good actor.
He's
there
a
you
very
go.
good actor.
He didn't play for Man United.
I'm good at faces. He play what?
No, he didn't play for Man United.
What to say? No, but I can't remember. I was talking about a striker that used to play. James Wilson.
James Wilson.
He was at Preston.
Do you want me
at Preston.
Do you want me to Google him as well?
I think he played for Wigan at one point as well.
See if you recognise his face. That's not a good picture.
Yeah, he was a
Played
good
for United.
forward, He had good finishing ability. He just couldn't progress on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there you go, guys. That's a perfect end to the show. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Remember, you can join the UV Members Club. Links in the video description. It's also the pinned comment in the live chat. You get your badges, your emojis, and your exclusive members-only content, your members' priority chat too. There's plenty on tap at UV HQ and UV just in general at the moment as we head to the Emirates on Sunday. We've got match preview. You can see on the sidebar there, match preview with Flex and Robbie outside of the Emirates. I was there for the filming of that one. It was freezing. It was absolutely freezing. Of course, we've got the match view on Sunday as well. 4:30 kickoffs will be live at 4 p.m. But in between all of that, we've got combined 11s.
Yes.
We've got plenty. We've obviously the tactical preview that's out and a special show that I'm not going to say just yet. But there's plenty of content to come. So be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. Have a good Friday, and we'll speak for you again soon. Peace.